Welcome everyone to episode 109 of Just Joshing. I am your host, Joshua Pentalaresco. I write stuff and podcast too, and my guest today is the amazing, uber talented illustrator, comic book artist, Megan Hutchison. She's currently doing Rockstars. We have a nice little conversation going, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But first, we're going to talk about a couple things here. The Wandering God is near completion, and my artist Florence Chan has been doing some streams lately about it, and you can actually watch some of those streams. She does them every Tuesday around 2 p.m. Eastern Time, so you can just definitely check it out and watch her do her thing. Her address is worldwideweb.twitch.tv/fccreative, FCCREATIVE. If you want to see a little bit about the Wandering God, you can do so there. And speaking of, my next 2 weeks are kind of crazy. It's all about edits. I'm currently looking at proofs of the Wandering God. I am editing the Cloud Diver, and I have a book in the back of my head I'm trying to get to too. So the next 2 weeks, that's all I'm doing. I'm hoping to get the proofs of the Wandering God done this week. All done this week. That's the hope. That's the plan. And then after that, the book is done. And that's a weird thing for me because this world has been a big part of me for the last 4 years. 14, 15, 4 years. And yeah, it's done. Done. And again, I'm sad. I'm at a bittersweet moment with it. I'm going to miss those characters, and I'm going to miss this world. And I'm going to talk about a lot more of that in the weeks to come. But yeah, like I said, it's nearly done, and I can't believe it. So while I get back onto the edits, I'm going to take you to my conversation with Megan. Looking for my archived episodes of Just Joshing? You can do so on my YouTube channel, Joshua Pentalaresco. JOSHUAPANTALLERESCO. There you will find past episodes with guests like Susie Vidori, Ron Bender, Ella Beaumont, Colette Turner, Chadwick Ginther, and more. Check out my YouTube channel right now. Incriminating you want to say? Yeah.
Everything I say is incriminating.
Awesome. That makes
I will never be president. Oh wait, I'm just kidding.
You never know. Although I find
you never know.
Well, it's a strange world. I mean, a friend of mine actually pointed this out. The U.S. is now technically speaking is openly fascist, which is actually you have to ponder, and that's yeah, it's actually true, and it's wow. Never would have.
Terrifying.
Oh, it is. It really is. If you look at it from the point of view of fascism being a merger between corporate and government, I cannot think of a better candidate that represents that than the one you currently have. The truly frightening part.
Yes.
The truly frightening part, though, is based on if you go by the expression "the past is prologue," he's only the beginning. And that's the truly scary part.
Oh boy.
I know. It's a little too early to grab the booze. I know. I'm sorry.
Well, I've been up for hours though.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, it's your house. It's fine by me. I unfortunately have a day job I have to go to, so I can't actually go down that depressing road too long, or I won't be able to go to work. So. I understand that. Yeah.
Where are you again? Are you East Coast?
I'm West Coast, Canada. But I'm in Alberta, so I'm an hour behind you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know Alberta was an hour behind us.
Yeah, it's an hour. We're technically an hour behind you.
Okay.
But not that terrible. It's not like Ontario or Newfoundland, heaven forbid, or anywhere like that where it's just it'd be 4 in the afternoon right now. It's oh no, not quite that far. Not quite that far. So let's get on to happening. You got married recently. Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah. It will be a month on Saturday.
Yeah. So it's been fun?
I haven't been home, but, so it's been great.
So what have you been up to?
And he broke his foot.
Ouch. Ow.
Yeah, I had to drop him off at the doctor this morning. He went to the hospital, go get, x-rays and all that stuff, so.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry about that. I hope he recovers soon. Jeez, that's a heck of a thing.
Yeah, well, he's on his way home, so hopefully it's with like a good report. I really, really hope.
Okay.
I can't keep taking care of him. Too much work to do.
Yeah.
I'm a caregiver, as you can tell.
Yes, I see that. I actually, it's funny because I just had my 100th episode not too long ago, and a friend of mine actually, yeah, 100 episodes. People like talking to me or something. I have no freaking clue why, but it's okay. But going to a friend of mine offered to master the episode because she was one of the guests and she's a musician, so it was cool for me to go there because I've never seen how a more professional style of mastering is done. So it was a really neat learning experience. But the other thing I noticed too is that her workspace is eerily similar to mine, and I'm imagining, and then the thought occurred to me that, every artist probably has a very similar workspace these days. There's like a desk, there's like a computer, or I'm imagining in your case you probably have like some kind of old style like board, so when you do some of your drawings and stuff like that like you're on there too. But I imagine there's that certain need for isolation because it was it's just the nature of what we do, right? It just you
Sorry, my dog is like nuts.
That's fine. But no, it's not that you're not a caregiving type. It's just you have to when you're doing. Imagine you're working on Rockstars right now.
I am.
Yeah. So I imagine then that at this point, especially you're like, I really need to do this because this has to come out. You go back online in August again, right? So.
Yeah, that's why I get up at stupid early hours in the morning, because it gives me a couple hours before everyone else wakes up.
Which makes sense. No, it really does. I'm the opposite. I usually work into the wee hours in the morning, because I don't like normal. I don't sleep like a normal person. But,
no, either.
Yeah. So, when I'm busy... Yeah. I'm between projects right now. I have my third book of my poetry series. I'm waiting for the illustrations to finish, start editing that, and I got a novel that's currently. I'm just waiting for the last few beta reads to come in. So I'm kind of in between stuff right now. So I'm actually sleeping somewhat normally right now. But when I'm going, sometimes it's like 4, 5, 6 in the morning, and then I get up at like 10, 11, and that's my day.
Yeah, you have to go to work.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Man.
You gotta do what you gotta do, right?
It's what makes us so interesting.
Well, yeah. It's that inevitable. There's that drive just to do something more. Whether it's like in your case, you've been illustrating not just Rockstars, but you've illustrated other books in the past. That's it. But you also like you were filming something like last week. So what were you doing there?
I was so friends of mine are doing a TV show for Lionsgate. I don't think it's been announced, so I can't really say more than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm in one of the episodes.
That's cool.
It was fun.
Yeah. It's
fun.
It's a lot of fun when you do film stuff. I've done a couple things behind the scenes, but it's an amazing process. It really is.
I used to art direct, so
yeah.
I'm used to film sets, but I'm not used to being in front of the camera as much. But it was kind of like a nice change of pace.
Well, yeah, you're not building anything. You're just you're just a part of the whole, not the foundation of it, which is probably it's different. So
yeah, it is.
Yeah, do it again.
It was fun though.
Yeah, so you do it again then?
No.
No.
No. No, once is enough.
Once is enough. You've done your thing. It's like never. It's like it's off my bucket list. Never again.
Yeah.
Never.
Well, I mean, I did it, and I'm friends with the producer and the director, but it's not really my thing, and my talents are better suited to other facets of the creative industry. So
behind the camera, behind the camera. Yeah. It's like I'm good behind the camera. You can just you guys just do. I like being the puppet master. I mean the director. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
No,
I do.
Yeah. So like I said, in some ways, being a director, being someone that puts stuff together behind the scenes, it's in one sense safer because although it's your vision. You're not the one out there. Whereas when you're an actor or an actress, you're constantly in front, being performing in front of an audience. And I imagine in some ways it's kind of freaky being in front of a camera because your audience is just a director or maybe a crew, and it's not that they're not entertained or anything like that. It's just I know I have a bit of an idea what it's like to feed off an audience a little bit. It's a lot of fun when you have an audience to play off of, and you don't really have that when you're filming something. So
no, you don't.
No. Whereas if you like if you were in a theater or you were on a stage or you were in front of people, you can feed off that banter back and forth. And while it's still nerve-wracking in some ways, far more nerve-wracking. Once you get that flow going, it's actually really easy just to go with it. I did that, my first live podcast was my 100th episode, and that was a lot of fun, and I will do that again. I don't know I could do that in front of a camera and a crew and a stage. I think that'd be terrible. But
yeah, it's different. It's definitely different.
Yeah.
But it was still fun.
Oh, absolutely.
I did it.
Hey, we all need to do things on our bucket list. You know what I mean? And that's kind. And again, it makes us better in terms of when we do our stuff too. So you going to be going behind the director's chair anytime soon, or is just Rockstars just the foreseeable future for you?
No, I'm gonna go in the writer's chair next. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so you got a story in your head, kind of deal?
Yeah, I'm working on the script currently with a friend of mine who is also he's a writer. He's a very well-known writer. But, this is kind of like my first crack at writing a comic book.
Oh, nice. How you enjoying that end?
Good. I'm still working on the outline. I'm having more fun creating the characters. Really? Actually working on the outline, and he was just talking to me this morning. He's like, because we're doing San Diego. He's like, no, we have to have the outline done by San Diego. I was like, okay.
Done.
I should probably work on that.
Eventually, yeah. I mean, outline could be a lot of fun. I have a novel that I'm going to be working on starting soon. And what I did was I know my outline's a map. I literally just drew a map, and that's my outline. It's literally I have this idea in my head right now about the idea of a steampunk Santa Claus story. But what I want to do is I want to do airships, and I want to do a Captain Nicholas and the Sky Pirates of the Rudolph, and basically my outline's the map of his run to New York City, where he has to steal an artificial heart to Emperor Ebenezer, which is sadly much more appropriate today than it was even a year ago. But it's if you have a story if you have an outline's good, but you can have, especially with your visual background, you can have a lot of fun with how you put together an outline, so.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm coming up with characters first. Because it's actually like a buddy road trip.
Oh, cool.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's more about the people that they meet along the way. And I'm also basing some of them off of people that I know. I mean, it's all fantasy, but I'm having fun kind of hiding friends in it.
Well, no, it's the best part. Like, real life is so much stranger than fiction. Like, it is unbelievably, like, so much stranger than fiction. My novel I just handed in, I have so many real people in that story, based off, like, some kind of, like, real experience, or just, like, just had some fun. I turned one of my friends into the villain of the story, just because it was fun. And the idea of him
awesome.
Oh yeah, it was just, he's one of the most positive, happiest people I've ever seen, so I made him a mob enforcer. Based on, like, his based off his personality. So he's literally the best salesman you will ever listen to. And if you don't buy his stuff, he'll break your legs. It's just you know, that's and the real contrast. The thing I added to the character that I think is really hilarious is he has a kid, and when you meet him, he's talking to his kid, but you can have anything you want, sweetie. And then there's a pause. A pony? You want a pony? But they just eat, and Daddy will have to work more. And it's just like, and then that's how you meet him. And it's like, but with his actual pitch and stuff, I mean, I watched this guy do a presentation, and I'm like, you are probably the best presenter I've ever seen. And that would actually, but what if you used your powers for evil? And then I'm like, that's it. Like, you, like,
that's pretty funny.
You know, you just gotta have fun with that stuff, right? I mean,
yeah, for sure.
I mean, I find personally when you do art and stuff like that, the best stuff comes from real life in some form or fashion, whether it's your friends, whether it's your experiences. A couple of things that happened to me in the last couple of years are also in this book. It's just some of them are funny, some of them are sadly true, but again, it adds a depth to it, right? And so you putting your friends in there makes total sense, right? I hope they're not necessarily offended, but I hope they're fun characters.
No, I still like it.
Yeah. So.
My friends aren't easily offended.
That's good.
Because they're my
That's
friends.
fair. That's fair. That's fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
But good luck. I hope it works out. Have fun with your outline. That's the best thing I can do.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let me know when it's up and running and you're on your way, because like I said, I like your stuff. So, but
thank you. I will. I mean, it's because of Rockstars, and it's something that I'm working on, but and like the writer I'm working with, he's on a couple of different books, so it's not something that's going to happen immediately, but it's something that we are working on.
Well, that's it's not about. I mean, it's not about like when it gets there. It's just the fact that you're working on something and you're trying, and you're one of those people that just likes trying new things, like in terms of like artistically expanding your horizons. So yes,
it's true.
Yeah. So and this seems like a challenge that really isn't a big stretch from what you're doing, and again, it'll make you, and even if it takes you years to get there, it's going to make you a better creator now on what you're currently doing. Because again, just my own experience, my own experience is that the more mediums you dabble in, the better you are at telling stories, because they're just like pieces, just show you different ways of putting a story together that you never considered.
Well, I mean, it's all just storytelling anyway.
Yeah.
All of it. Because, like I play music, and I even think like I bake, and I even think that's
absolutely.
It's all narrative, like.
Oh, baking especially.
Like it's narrative,
Well, it's true though. I mean, it can be a big. I have a friend that's a pastry chef. She makes amazing stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm like, how? It's like how do you do that? But I mean, it's all like it's all the same thing. Like storytelling is storytelling. I do podcasts. I also do I play with video stuff. I play with other things like that and I'm going to be starting to play with some of the video game software I've seen online, just because again it'll make me.
Fun.
Oh, it's part of the deal, right? I mean, I video game writing, if it's really good, is some of the best writing out there because it requires a players and you have to play with the idea of a player interacting with your work. Comics are comics are kind of similar that way. There's an interaction between the reader and the work being presented, and like great comics take advantage of that, like big time. Like you have this reaction, and then bam, it's this, right? And that's like comics at their very best. Like when you look at something like Watchmen, they do that very, very well in terms of the structure of the story. Even if the story is a little dated today, the actual like building that book was a endeavor in of itself, and I don't know if that'll ever be matched again. But that's when comics are at their best. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you're back on go with Rockstars in August. So
yes.
So what's the next arc about?
So the next arc is hold on one. Baby, I already fed her. Baby, I fed her. Sorry.
No, it's cool.
My husband was gonna feed the dog again.
That's gonna be a happy fat puppy if you're not careful.
Oh my gosh, she's already fat. She's on a diet, actually. She's part pug, so it's like she'll just eat everything.
see it, eat it, dog. Okay, gotcha.
Okay, sorry about that.
Nothing to sorry about.
Yeah. Okay, so the next arc, so the first arc was like kind of 70s, like arena rock as our music genre. So this arc, we're jumping to the 80s. So we're doing 80s metal.
Awesome.
Yeah, and so it's been a lot of fun because I didn't grow up on 80s metal, but I came into 80s metal like in high school, like college time. So me, like, this is super fun because I'm drawing a lot of reference from bands that I used to listen to, like early Metallica and, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest.
Nice. Please
Slayer, stuff like that.
Please tell me you have a Manowar reference in there. That would be awesome.
Oh my God, there's some Manowar references.
Awesome. Because they're like my favorite 80s.
They have the best album covers.
They have the best album covers, and I also like you have to listen to one of their, like, to truly get the 80s metal experience, you have to listen to one of their stuff. Like, just one. You don't have to like them necessarily, but they were so over the top. I mean, you just cannot help but, I can't help but smile at Manowar. I just can't.
Yeah. I don't want to give too much away, because I'm actually doing the playlist for issue 8.
Oh, nice.
So, there may or may not be some Manowar on there.
Okay, well, they're
definitely not my favorite. No, they are camp.
They totally are.
So
they totally are.
I don't listen to them, but I appreciate the hell out of them.
Well, it's you just mentioned 80s metal. It's like, oh man, you guys have to have at least one. Like it doesn't have to be there. Like Metallica, early Metallica, Judas Priest, as you mentioned, Megadeth. Even you can make a good argument fits in that category too. Right. I mean, those are the more like the bigger. They're the bigger mainstays of metal, especially in the 80s. But the thing about metal is there is an absurd side to it too. It's just like it's over the top. And you see it, even sometimes when they perform. Like I literally went to a metal show the other day, and the dude was in his bare feet, like performing. I was like, you don't see that every day. But again, it's just. You only with metal you get that, right? So,
it's kind of a cross genre, musically, because I was an industrial kid. Technically metal, but it bleeds into other parts of metal, like prog, progressive metal, so there's so much more, and Joe and I get in this, it's obviously a friendly argument, but he did grow up in the 80s, and so for him, he loves all the hair metal. He loves,
yes.
Whitesnake, who I cannot stand. And we used to make fun of all the hair metal guys because we thought it was stupid. Like, I hate Def Leppard. I will go on record and say that. But
it's fine. White.
That's just not what I'm drawn to. But that's the nice thing about metal is like there's so many different genres within that specific genre that like someone finds something that they like.
Absolutely. The only thing I'm going to mention is Whitesnake is oddly more compelling when you're drunk. I'm not sure why. But
really?
Yes. I'm not sure why. Again, sober.
Good to know.
Yeah, it's sober. It's.
Yeah, they're definitely not my favorite.
No, they're an acquired taste sober. I don't understand it myself. It's just weird. But no, I still enjoy metal today. But the stuff I like is stuff like Nightwish and Blind Guardian. I like some of the big epic they're a little over the top, but they're also just incredibly sophisticatedly well put together music. And I think
sure.
Yeah, right. So I love that stuff like the best. But yeah, every once in a while you gotta have the campy hair bands. I mean, Nirvana destroyed them all, but I mean, until that point, I mean, that was a big part of music in the early to late 80s. I mean, 90s you get into like the grunge, you get the more grungy, you get to like the Nirvanas and even rap. Like that's when rap becomes a really big thing. So I guess I'm gonna ask this: are you guys like going through periods as well? Like periods of like music is just a big part of the story, just the evolution of where music has gone and where it's going?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And because we're both big, like music people. Music is a really big part of both of our lives. We both play instruments. We've both been in bands on and off, like our whole lives. So for us, it's more about kind of exploring what, like how music kind of fits in, both in the comic book, but also like in our lives and other people's lives. Like a lot of people pick up this book because they're also music nerds.
Yeah.
And so for us, it's more about kind of like exploring what that means. And I think a lot of like Jackie is who Joe is. Because Joe's definitely more, like he gets like really invested. I just listen to music and I play music, like I don't get as into like the stories behind things as Joe does.
It's not that doesn't interest you so much as the actual music itself. But I mean, hey, everybody's got their thing, right? And that's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right.
Exactly.
And, I mean, we all have these things we geek out over, right? It's just everything. I mean, it's true. We are like artists are obsessive people. Like they just
yes.
They just are. We all are obsessed in our own stuff. And the thing of it is, that's the best stuff. Like when I do conversations, when you find that stuff here, that's my favorite stuff on the podcast. I should ask though, what do you play? Like, what music instrument do you play?
I play. So I was actually classically trained as a pianist and a singer since I was like 5. So I still play the piano. And then mostly, and what I did I was in so many different, like, really awful bands, but I would always do keys and sing.
Fair enough. That's cool,
yeah.
though. A piano oddly fits you, and that's a weird, I know that sounds weird, but no, it really does. It's an amazing instrument. It's a lot more sophisticated than people give it credit for, because... Although I mean, it's the one instrument where I kind of look at it. It's literally dealing with light and shadow. Of time you look at black keys as shadow. It's like and that's your tapestry to paint. It's a really really amazing instrument when you see someone who really knows what they're doing play it. It's incredible what you can do with it.
Oh yeah,
incredible.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, like a friend of the family's, he just got a baby grand, and like. I'll just sit and watch him play. I'm like kind of like quote unquote renting time from him, like going over to their house and like playing, like a couple hours a week. But I could just like sit and he just makes stuff up. I mean, that's what he does. He's a musician. Yeah. So he just makes stuff up, and just watching him, like I kind of nerd out, and like I grew up on classical music. My parents were foreign, so I didn't grow up listening listening to, like, American music. And so we always just listen to classical. So for me, that's kind of like more my genre. Actually, at some point, if we keep going with Rockstars, we're going to do like a Beethoven, Mozart.
That'd be cool. No, because
Duel.
well,
yeah.
no. If
the original Rockstars.
Yeah, no. Why not? It sounds that it'd be a fun little thing. Even if it was just a one and done kind of deal.
Yeah, we might do something like that, just like a special issue or something like that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, just for fun.
Yeah.
I would love to. I totally nerd out about. I love classical music. I love musicians. Like, I know more about Vivaldi than I do about like any celebrity. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. But no, it's cool. It really is.
It's true nerddom.
No, but it's funny because I like me from a classical. Sometimes when I'm writing, like I like either like when I'm actually writing, I either go one of two ways. I either go like softer, like more of a pop, like some pop style. Like when we were talking about piano, I love there's an artist I love named Diane Birch. That's her instrument. She's piano and she's got this amazing voice, and it's just like I like that stuff. Or the other stuff, like every once in a while, I'll go and do something like older. I will do something classic like Mozart or Bach because it's good for the brain. Like it really just it stimulates people it's stimulating, and it's also it's not modern music. Modern music is very fun to listen to, and there are situations where that's more suiting to what I'm writing, but when I listen to it, it's a lot more abrasive to like I guess the tone. Whereas the older stuff doesn't really intrude on what you're doing. It's actually like it's more like it's like it can be in the background and it's just fine. And it's great stuff. You know what I mean? And I can dig that. So I'm hoping you get. I hope. It'd be really cool if you guys did something if you keep doing if you do a classical arc, not just Mozart versus Beethoven or stuff like that. But it'd also be kind of cool if you actually did I love stuff like the Magic Flute. Like I just love that stuff where that kind of story is there. And the beautiful thing about your book is you can merge song and panels seamlessly depending on what genre you guys get into. So.
Yep. Yeah. And we try to do that, too.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of, licensing. We don't have any licensing, I should say. So we have to alter lyrics, but we do hide lyrics in the book.
Absolutely.
All over the place. Hopefully we don't get sued.
Oh, probably.
No one sue us, please.
Actually, I will say this. Your book is one of the most well-designed books I've ever seen. Like, Rockstars in general is just incredibly smartly put together.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You're a really amazing designer.
Yeah. And, it works very well because it's like I said, every time I read a book, it feels like it's a track, like a single of a bigger album. And I think that's
that's awesome.
That's what it feels like, and then just the whole design, right? And I think that's what you guys were going for. I think so. Yeah,
definitely. So I'm glad that's coming across.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Yeah.
I'm really happy.
Yeah. No, that's what it feels like when I read the book. So I think we got enough for an interview here. So why don't we do this? Can you say anything about the second arc?
Yeah.
All right. So why don't we wrap up and you tell a little bit about arc 2 and then how people can find you?
Okay, cool. So arc 2, we introduce a new, I guess she's an anti-hero. And her name is Danny Dangerous. And she is the lead singer and guitarist of this metal band. And I'm kind of in love with her. And I think people are really going to dig her. And hopefully people will cosplay as her, because she's a badass.
Nice.
And then we're also introducing another character who is our throwback from the 80s. And he was the lead guitarist for a band called Shiloh back in the 80s, and we're going to be doing something really special with him. So, I don't want to give away too much.
No, you don't have to give away too much.
That's kind of like those are like our new characters. But we're also going to find out more about what happened to Jackie's dad, and like kind of like because Jackie has like these weird kind of supernatural powers. So we're going to find out a little bit more like how he got them and how he could use them. So you find out a little more about that kind of stuff, because everyone keeps asking me. They're like, when are we going to find out what happened to Jackie's dad? I'm like, just keep reading.
Well, if
I won't tell you.
I'm not going to ask. If I were to sum up Rockstars, it's music meets the X-Files, and so I mean, I think that's the goal. Like I mean, and the interesting thing about Jackie is what he seems to be able to do is he sees connections where other people don't, and that's so. So it's almost like he has the grand, like if there's a grand design, a wheel within wheel kind of deal. He sees at least a glimmer of that in everything in the music industry. So that's an amazing connection. I'm actually surprised that you guys haven't overwhelmed the dude yet, but that might be coming. Who knows? But
yeah, I mean we're definitely gonna explore that, and like. Sonny, who's like really our bad guy, he's gonna start playing a bigger part because he really needs Jackie on his side, because Jackie does have his powers basically, and he's human, whereas like everyone else is a demon. That's a powerful ally to have, So he's gonna make a kind of like a big push in the next couple issues.
Which is very appropriate considering you're in the metal arc. So I mean,
exactly.
it's very appropriate in more ways than one. So I'm looking forward to reading it. So
thank you. Yeah. I'm looking forward to drawing it. Right now, the issue I'm on, I'm drawing a lot of punk rock people. So that's been fun too.
We could have so much fun talking about that too. Punk rock is a big, I love, the Misfits is usually what people is the one of the biggest influences to metal in the 80s as well, and punk and metal go together very, very well. I mean, I'm sure it's
very well, yes.
I'm sure that connection will be explored somewhat in the arc, and looking forward to it. So yeah. So actually, I got one question so far, and it does you don't have to include this arc, because you don't want to keep it secret. But so far, what's been your favorite panel of the series?
Oh my god, my favorite panel?
Yeah. I'm being evil. I'm sorry.
There's one coming out in issue 6.
Okay.
So that comes out, I think, August 6th.
All right.
Is that when issue 6 comes out? There's one panel, and it involves Danny and Jackie. And Danny's super sexy. And she's basically like, I mean, I'm not really giving anything away, but she's going to try to seduce Jackie.
Yeah.
And he's such a nerd. Like, he just, doesn't get it. And there's one, I mean, he gets it. Obviously, he's, attracted to her, but, he's, one of those dudes where it's, if an attractive woman hits on him, he's like, what are you doing? It just doesn't compute with him. So there's one panel where she's, seducing him, and he's just so... I don't know. He's just so a fish out of water, and that was really fun. So that's in issue 6.
Okay.
That's been my favorite so far. Mostly because I like making Jackie squirm a little bit. I think it's funny.
Well, it makes sense. It makes sense. He sees everything, so put him in a situation where that doesn't do him a whit of good. So.
Yeah, I mean, and we do that a lot. Some of the, I think it was the cover for issue 2. Seduced by all the, the groupies. He's just super uncomfortable. I just think that's hilarious. I love putting people in situations that make them really uncomfortable. This is why I don't have many friends.
I don't know. You sound like you'd be a lot of fun to hang out with. But anyways,
I'm fun. I just it's you have to be into that kind of stuff.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, how can people find you?
So I'm all over the internet. My artist name is Black M, Blackem. So you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, as blackm_art. And then I'm on Facebook at It Came From Gallifrey, because I'm a big nerd. And then my website is black-art.com. So I'm pretty easy to find. And then you can even Google Rockstars and we're the first thing that comes up. So
awesome.
So yeah, that's me.
That was Megan Hutchison. And like I said, Rockstars returns with issue 6 this August. You should check it out. I want to thank Megan very much for being a part of the show. Always a pleasure, and I hope to have her back in the future episode as well. Yeah, but like I said, check out her work. Another piece of her work I like is Grim Grimian. It's really, really, really fun. That's older. But Rockstars, in all seriousness, is probably one of the, like I said, one of the best design books I've ever read. It's smartly written. If you love music, if you love the X-Files, it's for you. And that'll do it for this episode of Just Joshing. You can support the podcast a number of different ways. You can do it by subscribing to the podcast, which you can do through either iTunes or through Podomatic. You can do one or the other. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Joshua Pantelleresco, Joshua with Pantalleresco. You can buy my books, The Watcher and Storm Dancer, which are available at mirrorworldbooks.com or at Amazon.com or and other major electronic distributors. You can get my books there. You can also subscribe to my newsletter, tinyletter.com/jpantelleresco. Pantelleresco, once again, is Pantalleresco. You can do any one of those things. I would greatly appreciate it. But beyond all that, just stay inspired out there. Do the thing you're called to do. Show up, do it, and let things fall as they may. All right? All right. See you guys next time.
Josh.